up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So my name's Dave. I make content around running, shoe reviews, and my life. So let me ask you a question. What is your biggest goal of 2025? So it's now the end of 2024 and I wanted to make a video just reflecting on the year that has been, and I also wanted to fill you guys in on what I'm gonna be doing in 2025, some goals, some events, and some things I'm gonna be targeting. I made the same video last year and the year before, so we're continuing the tradition this year once again. It's been a massive year and it's honestly pretty crazy when you think about all that you've actually accomplished this year, whether that be in my personal life, my work life, and my running life. So we'll start off the video by just reflecting on the year that was 2024, and then after we're gonna go all into what I'll be doing in 2025, some key races that I'll be targeting, and pretty much, yeah, what my goals are for 2025. So let's do it. So I had 6 goals written down for this year on last year's video, and you can probably guess what one of those goals is. Lol. I was pretty ambitious with these goals, but look, I think it's a pretty good thing. So let's run through them and see how many of those I actually can tick off. So the first goal is a 35xx minute 10K, so basically a sub 36 10K, which I can tick off. I ran the Bridge to Brisbane a couple of months ago where I managed to come away with a PB of 34:32. So I can absolutely tick that one off. How good. The next one is 5,000 subs on YouTube. I actually can tick this one off. I hit 5,000 subs, I think a couple of weeks ago. We're on 5,100 now. We're moving. That was one that I was really, really proud of. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for all the support that I get on this channel. I've had the most support this year than ever. And I really, really felt the momentum and I really felt the love this year going through the Noosa prep into the Melbourne prep. And yeah, it's just been a really amazing year and I have you guys to thank. Couldn't have done it without any of you guys. So thank you so much for that. Next one, we have win a race. Did I win a race? I don't think I won a race, unless it was a park run. But I don't think we can count that. So, can't tick that one, unfortunately. Next one, of course, sub 2:45 marathon. This one hurts. This one really hurts. This is one that I thought was absolutely gonna happen, and it just didn't happen this year for me, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I've probably said all there is to say about that in numerous videos this year. So yeah, all I can say is there's a cross on that one. Didn't manage to tick that one off as much as it hurts. Next one is a sub 76 minute half marathon. I also can't tick that one off. That's a cross because yeah, I didn't even get close to that. I'm like a minute and a half off. So very ambitious, Dave, of that one. Not sure what I thought I was capable of. I think what is that? 3:35 pace? I don't know, but I didn't quite get that one ticked off either. And then the last one is post weekly on YouTube and daily on Instagram. So posting weekly on YouTube, I think every week except for 1 week while I was in Japan, I didn't post. Oh, and I didn't post last week. So 2 weeks out of the whole year, I think that's pretty good. I mean, I can't tick it off because I didn't do it, but geez, it's an almost tick. It's like a half tick, I reckon. Pretty good. And daily on Instagram, I think I kept that up for about 3 or 4 months. And then I decided to scale it back and try to post more quality rather than quantity, because I was kind of just posting whatever. I mean, it was really good to get the creative juices flowing and make me actually be more proactive on posting. But I realized that once I kind of like took that pressure off myself, I was still like posting 3, sometimes 4 times a week anyway, but I just was posting less junk and I was able to post more quality stuff. I think so anyway. And yeah, so now I think I'm posting maybe like once or twice a week. Obviously I'm posting a fair bit more when I'm during a prep because I'm doing a lot more. But yeah, can't tick that one off. So we got 1, 2 of 6. Damn. If you look at it like that, seems like a failed year, but I wouldn't look at it that way. The way I look at it is you want to be ambitious with these goals, and these are the goals that actually drive you to tick other goals off that you create for yourself throughout the year. So definitely was a good exercise doing it last year, and I mean, I'm doing it again this year and it's been fun. And these goals are just gonna be just as ambitious, which you guys will see very soon. So I raced quite a bit this year. I added up 12 races that I could think of. I may have done maybe 1 or 2 more smaller races, but I've done at least 12 actual proper races. And 4 of those are marathons. I did Noosa Marathon, I did Gold Coast Marathon, I did Sydney Marathon and Melbourne Marathon. So that's a damn good lineup. There's a few half marathons sprinkled in there, a couple of 5Ks, and then the 1 10K that I did at Bridge to Brisbane. So definitely got around. The main goals for this year were the marathons. You guys would know the main goal was sub 2:45 at Noosa, which ended in flames, ended terribly. And then the next goal was sub 2:45 at Melbourne, which didn't go my way, ended up with 2:48, but that's okay. I learned a lot from that, and yeah, let me just say 2025 is gonna be my year. My PB improvements for 2024 for all of the major distances are as follows. So for the 5K, I ran 16:23 for a PB. That was at the Sandgate Parkrun Speed Week, and that was a 29-second PB from last year. That's pretty decent. That's pretty decent for the 5K distance. I'd say that's a pretty good improvement. Next one, we got the 10K. So I ran 34:32 at Bridge to Brisbane. That was a 2-minute 18-second PB. Massive PB, but I didn't really run a 10K last year. So it's kind of like a 2-year PB, if you look at it that way. So not as impressive, but still pretty chuffed. Still pretty chuffed with that. I mean, I broke one of the goals for the year in that race. So can't complain with that, pretty happy. Next one is a half marathon. So I ran 77:46. Yeah, a minute 46 off that sub 76 goal I had in my goals list. But it was a 50-second PB, and yeah, I really am quite happy with that as at the Sunshine Coast half marathon. I do remember, I think it was in September, I do remember that I was sick the week leading off. So you could probably take what? A minute 46 off that for being a little bit sick? I don't know, whatever. And then the last one is the marathon, the big dog. So I ran 2 hours, 47 seconds, and that was at Melbourne Marathon, and that was a 2-minute 53 PB, which most people would be absolutely chuffed with. And to be honest, I'm not that stoked about it. You guys know why, and it's just left me hungry as hell. We got some Strava statistics here. So I ran 403 runs for the year. Time spent running is 361 hours. So this is purely just running, guys. And then distance, we ran 4,566 kilometers, which is actually 1,100 kilometers more than I did in 2023. So I ran 1,100 extra kilometers to take almost 3 minutes off my PB. Let that sink in. But overall, I'm super chuffed with the progress that I've made in my running career and here on the channel. If I'm being honest, my marathon PB, it isn't where I wanted it to be or where I think that it should be at the moment. But this actually only makes me more fired up to get the bloody thing done in 2025. So I moved to the Gold Coast in March, and that was honestly the best thing that I've ever done for my running. I got to meet the group. I get to run in literally a paradise every day. The Gold Coast is just so good for running on your own. It's literally a paradise. You get to see the beach, it's beautiful, and you get to run with some pretty amazing runners, possibly even join a group like myself. I honestly couldn't recommend it anymore. And I think my biggest lesson for the year would be that running age plays a big part in the running game. Honestly, you just have to respect the process and stay consistent. Then honestly, you just continue to get faster and faster as you stack the years. So what are my new goals for 2025? I've got 5 goals written down here, so 1 less than last year. I was kicking it off with 25,000 total subscribers over social media. So that's going to include YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I think right now I've got 5,000 YouTube subscribers. I've got about 6,500 Instagram followers, and I have about 1,500 TikTok followers. So quick maths, that's 11,000. It's about 12,500. So I'm looking to double over socials in 2025, which I think is absolutely doable with the trajectory that I was having in the second half of 2024. I think it's definitely possible. We've got a few more marathons, a few more builds to do. We've got lots of great content to make. So yeah, let's do it. Next one is kind of like a sub goal from the 25,000 total subscribers. So I want 10,000 subs on YouTube. So we're doubling it this year, which pretty much like I explained before, I think is absolutely doable. And 10,000 just sounds so crazy to me. Like it's so many people that are gonna be supporting me. And I already feel like I've got so much support. So 10,000 is just it's gonna be a whole different kettle of fish, and I absolutely can't wait for it. But it's happening. It's happening in 2025. I'm calling it right now. Next one is a sub 240 marathon. You heard correct. Sub 240. I honestly think I just didn't get the marathon right this year. I think I have the fitness, but there was a few things that I'm tweaking currently over the summer, like strength training and building just overall fitness and adding hills into my runs, my weekly runs, and just a few other little things that I think are really gonna make the first marathon of the year just a lot different than all of my other marathons. And I think that if I can just get one marathon right, the next ones that will come or that will follow after it, I think are gonna be spectacular. And I think I'm really gonna outdo myself. I didn't really get to nail one this year, but next year, I'm looking to nail one. And next one, we got a sub 76 half marathon. I've left it on from last year. It's ambitious. And I'm in at 46 PB. I mean, if I wanna run 240, I'm gonna have to run a 76 half marathon. There's just no ifs, buts, or maybes. And then the last one is collab with a brand for a marathon prep again. So if you guys are familiar with my Noosa marathon prep, I collabed with Saucony, and they supported me throughout the series. I would really love to do that again for one of the marathon series, marathon preps that I do for 2025. If you're watching this and you're from a brand and you're interested, sing out and let's make it happen. So let's talk about the events, mainly the marathons I'm gonna be targeting in 2025. So firstly, I'm gonna be targeting the Ballarat Marathon in April. This is gonna be another sub 245 attempt. I'm gonna be bringing back the sub 245 series. I'm gonna run the rat. I'm not sure what it's called. We're bringing it back, guys. And that is in April on the 25th, I believe. It's in Ballarat, which is in Victoria, slightly west. And it's hopefully gonna be a bit of a cooler marathon. That's the reason I chose it. And it's really early in the year. I think it's just honestly a little bit of a hidden gem here in Australia because everywhere else is probably gonna be pretty hot. So I love the idea of hopefully a cooler marathon that early in the year. It's unheard of in Queensland. So I'm gonna travel down, we're running the rat, and we're aiming for another sub 240 attempt. Next on the cards locked in, we've got the Gold Coast Marathon. This one is in July. This one I ran this year. I did the Gold Coast Double. This was a lot less serious attempt. This time, I'm gonna go for a full send, full marathon prep. What about the Gold Coast Marathon just really draws me to it is my run group, which is obviously based on the Gold Coast. They all participate in the Gold Coast Marathon. So that means there's a group of probably sometimes around 10, even 15, 20 people, all dialing in, training for the Gold Coast Marathon, training through winter, so nice and cool, and going on long runs together. So I should have a pretty solid group for all of my key long runs, key marathon sessions, and it should just be really, really fun. And I think the days are just gonna tick over like clockwork. And it should be a really enjoyable prep. I've got two of my good friends also doing the Gold Coast Marathon, which will probably be aiming for something similar to me. We've got Tommy Newell from the run group, and I've also got Tomo, my mate from Brisbane, who's gonna be running it. He's told me he's got a ticket. So you should see the gang get back together for that one. And yeah, not sure what the goal is gonna be for that one. I guess it just depends how the Ballarat Marathon goes. to what the goal is going to be for Gold Coast Marathon. And then lastly, I've locked in one final marathon. This one I'm going to be doing again with Before You Speak Coffee, my wonderful coffee sponsors who I love very, very much, and I am very appreciative of everything they do for me. But they're going to be sending me to do the Sydney Marathon once again next year. This is so sick because it's going to be its first year as a major marathon. I think it's just going to be huge, and I'm going for a full send attempt once again. I did it this year. It was more of a jog in. I think I ran around 3:12, yeah, something around that. That was so fun. And pretty much when I finished, I crossed that finish line, I thought next year I'm gonna go a full send. So that is gonna be in August, at the very end of August. That's gonna be probably the final full send marathon for the year. And I have got another little event here. I shouldn't say little, it's a big event lined up for the start of August, and I'm actually getting married. So that should be interesting, getting married within the same month of running a full send marathon. But yeah, I had to put it in the events list because that's gonna be one of, if not the biggest event of the year and of my life. And I'm very, very excited. So that list, it's in no way finished. I'm gonna be sprinkling in some half marathons in those preps, probably some 5K, 10K events. I love doing that stuff. Some beer miles, absolutely some beer miles. And yeah, we'll see what else happens throughout the year. The year is unpredictable, and you know me, I love racing, so you can bet your ass I'll be out there racing fairly often. I mean, I raced 12 times this year. I think it was 13 times last year, so I'm gonna be racing in 2025, don't you worry. And I also have a lot of personal goals that I've written down as well, and then I encourage all of you guys to do the same. Take the time to reflect on the year that you've had, the good times, the bad times, all of it. You might not feel like you've accomplished much, but once you actually sit down and look at your entire year, look at all the things that you've done in the year, you will actually be surprised how much you've actually accomplished. You'll find tons of stuff that you can actually be so proud of, and there's plenty of lessons learned, I'm sure. It'll be really beneficial in so many ways, and it'll be such a positive experience. It honestly got me pretty fired up, not gonna lie. So what can you expect from Dave the Runner in 2025? A sub 2:45 marathon at the very least. Just kidding, but I'd love to get a solid marathon on the books. This year, I think my content style has sort of changed for the better. I want to continue growing and improving the channel into something that I can really be proud of and bring the most value to you guys. Basically, I just want to make content that I watch myself and inspire people the way that I'm inspired every day on YouTube. So what is your biggest goal for 2025? That is going to conclude my year in review video for 2024. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed the content this year. Once again, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for all the kind messages, all the comments, all the likes, all the shares, everything, all the hellos at events. This really is the greatest job in the world, and I honestly feel so blessed to be in the position I am. And I'm not gonna take this for granted. We're going to the moon in 2025, and I'm taking you guys with me. But that's gonna conclude the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next year. Peace.